Hi, my name is Ivan Watson, and I would like to give you a persuasive speech on why college athletes should be paid. First off, I would like to start off with a question. Would you like to work a job that generated millions of dollars in income and be satisfied with receiving pennies on the dollar, if anything, maybe sometimes nothing? No, I'm not talking about Walmart workers, but I'm talking about college athletes. We expect college athletes to be satisfied with the little scholarships that they get and the college experience and the college education compared to what the college revenue that college sports brings in and compared to what they're spending in scholarships is why I want to argue today why we should be paying our college athletes. Do we even know what college sports, how much college sports revenue that they bring in? Out of 2,078 schools, let's say the top 65 of them, that's only about 3%. They generate about $7.6 billion in income. And that was just back in 2018. That's that's that accounts for over half of the income that's generated by all those schools, just those 65. So out of the 2078, let's that's about 12 over $12 billion in income generated each year besides this year with COVID going on. So that's $12 billion. When the average cost of a scholarship is only $18,000. Now, with all the college athletes on scholarship across the United States, that would probably turn out to be about $2.9 billion. We can round that up to even three, and just say that 12 take away three, it leaves us with $9 billion in profit that college schools across the United States have an income that they're not sharing with college students. That same income that these students are lacking or don't have that could use to pay for gas to get back and forth from class, that they can use to pay for food, entertainment, clothing that the school doesn't provide for them. And half of these scholarships aren't all the time fully funded for the full amount of what the school tuition is. So a lot of times these students that are on full scholarships or full or half scholarships still will have to go out and find jobs to make up ends meet. So paying the students should keep them safe from making bad decisions where they're getting in jeopardy and losing their scholarships at times. With the NCAA taking a hard stance on not paying college athletes, many top high school athletes have sought out other plans with professional leagues that also started to think and provide other platforms for these top high school athletes to also start playing for play. Players like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Lionel Messi, Luka Doncic, LaMelo Ball have all sought out professional careers right after high school to to jump straight into uh, their earning potential as young men, as young athletes, when they had the still had the capability to go to school and everything, but they decided to go a different route. Now, some naysayers saying that these college athletes going out and getting paid is not good for the systems and not good for the school because it will force schools to have to take on forced unions or anything like that sorts. Naysayers like Deborah Zareno and Emma Kerr of the U.S. News say that universities will be forced with performing unions to protect players and college athletes from being to protect their contracts. Well, with organizations that are already in place, such as the NCPA, the National College Players Association, that could easily step in and protect these contracts and be the players' union, just like every other professional sports league has a players' union. They would just fit right into that position instead of allowing the NBA to grab these top tier high school players because of the need that they need to make money. I think that the university should really look at paying these top college athletes, I mean high school athletes, and have a pay incentive or something that will entice these kids to come back to the college. How can we start paying athletes? We can pay them through salary cap right now. Shoot, we can start off with 65,000. I mean 6,500,000 for each team, up to 3 million to depending on the sports teams, and we can do salary caps on for high value players up to 35,000 down to the minimum of 25,000. That's more than enough money to pay for all college athletes, to give them some type of other incentive to go off and play in other professional sports leagues, such as the NBA, the Major League Baseball leagues, Major League Soccer, and other professional sports leagues across and overseas that are also grabbing some of these high value athletes, high school athletes. A cash compensation system where players can work for for incentives on what they accomplish on and off the field. Say, for instance, if they're showing up to practice each day on time, that can be incentive paid. Player contracts can also be set up through the schools and the universities. These are all ideas that can easily be implemented to where we can start playing players right now as of today. Paying players don't only benefit the player, but it also benefits the school as well. Let's explore some of those benefits, how it helps the school. Universities could have their own boosters set up, tax deductible funds that pay for players' salaries instead of taking on that income themselves. Instead of having boosters pay for large buildings, they could just have the boosters pay for their salaries. And not that, as I mentioned before, the National College Players Association can also act as a players union that is in place to seek the best for each player and each student athlete across the United States. They can easily do the same for their contracts and their money obligations. using using organizations that's already in place to help move college students into financial freedom is something that's already being talked about on a on a presidential level. The financial freedom for all college students is something that we should all be pushing for, even as Joe Biden, president-elect, has promised and pushed and proposed a bill to forgive 15 million in student loans. Well, I figure we shouldn't stop there. I think we should start pushing also legislation that also allows players to make money off of their likeness. And there has already been in 2019. California has led the way as far as a U.S. Representative, Anthony Gonzalez from Ohio, is planning to launch a federal bill that will allow college players to make money off their likeness. These are things that we can do that can get us to our goal and accomplishing to getting college players their fair share. We can also establish trust funds for former college players to either go back and finish their degrees or to help pay off their student debt. These are all things that we can do, and also bug your congressman. We can definitely bug our congressman to let them know that, hey, we're pushing for the fair share that college athletes need to be paid for what they're doing on the fields. I'm Ivan Watson. I hope I have convinced you that this is something college athletes need. Thank you.